Hello everyone, it's me. It is December 12th, the 12/12 portal, 2025 at 1:52 p.m. I am enjoying some lunch, and I have some pickles here actually. Pickles! And I'm watching this and refreshing my memory of this. Now, this lady here on the screen is Emery Smith's ex-fiance. And I watched this entire expose when she released it. I forget when it was, but it was years ago now. Okay? And thankfully, it's what saved me a lot from following more into the secret space program stuff, right? Like this made the whole thing fall apart for me years ago. But I knew, okay, so I saw, oh, I hope you're well, by the way. Welcome back. I believe I'm going to call this kind of a series, What the Actual F Is This? Because that's what I said when this morning when I got up, okay, and I put on YouTube. I seen a video from Cosmic Disclosure Network. I'm like, what is that? Who is that in those headphones? And I click on it and it's Emery Smith. And wait, we're going to get there. Because the Divine Creator sent me a video on my algorithm and decided, I suppose, to smite Emery Smith today. Because honestly, I'm watching this refresh my memory about what this girl said. And the whole thing was so damaging and so, oh my goodness. But it's true, right? Like, it's not just like damaging reputation of untrue shit. It's true, and it would do. I'm surprised that he's still going. And it looks like he's connected still with Gaia. What? So, wait. They didn't figure it out with Corey Goode and David Wilcock, and they didn't realize that Emery Smith's a part of that. There's a whole bunch of people that I noticed that we're going to talk about. I mean, remember the Atlantean song guy? We'll get to that. Maybe I'll clip that part in here at the end. It's really funny. But Houston, we have a problem, and we need to talk about it because this is the reason why I paused and decided to speak at this point. Is because at the 39-minute 24 mark, let me check if I'm sure here. Pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, 39 minutes, 24 seconds, okay? I'm like, you know what? It was before, a little bit before this, but I'm sure now. I've definitely dealt with a man like this before. That ex-demon, twin flame piece of shit motherfucker. Oh. I really told myself, okay, that's the last time I'm going to swear. I told myself I wasn't going to swear because some people find it off-putting and offensive whenever they won't listen to what I have to say. They've commented like this. Okay, I can restrain myself. But that man was a pathological liar too. He just lie. Like he was writing a book. He couldn't keep his lies straight. He had all these crazy things to say. He would always psychologically manipulate you and emotionally manipulate you and always be so charismatic. You'll call him because you're mad at him for something, and then he just turns it all around, spins you all around, and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to take you out to dinner on Wednesday, and we'll go for pasta, and everything's going to be all right. So I know exactly what these type of people are. And I mean, she talks about him being, he had a girlfriend. He was being unfaithful with her. And like they were engaged. So it's a whole mess, I'm telling you. And Stephen Cambion covers it extensively on his channel. We're going to look at that. I'll show you the list, okay? Because he's done it for years now. And like I said, I saw the entire thing. I think it's in maybe this girl here does like a video in about 4 or 5 parts. This is part 3. But there's quite a few parts, and she even apologizes because it's so long. But it's just, it's shocking and telling. And honestly, I don't know why it's not up on the internet anymore. He probably threatened to sue her. You know? Only people that have stuff to hide do that. Yeah. Unless, like, someone's legitimately done you wrong and you have proof of that, but she's got so much proof. There's videos, okay? When I went to Stephen Campion's channel, I was looking for these drunk videos. He's got some footage of Emery Smith drunk. He's drunk all the time. And like it says, battling drug and alcohol addictions. Now, I know I have my own, okay? I've never denied that. But I also don't walk around saying I work for the government, I'm in the military, or an alien ambassador or emissary or whatever. I speak for I've never fucking said that, okay? So that's why I have no qualms, no like conscious, like, oh, you shouldn't say this. No, because I've never presented myself that way. And for them to do this is what questioned me, or had me question it. My self-questioning. Like, why would they choose Corey Goode, not me? You know? Like, what was I doing wrong on these people? You know? Because now, allegedly, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure on Stephen Campion's channel, but I don't want to blame him for anything. Because I remember hearing that there was a scandal with Corey Goode cheating on his wife. Oh, well, look what David Wilcock happened with his wife. He used to talk like shit to Elizabeth all the time. And I noticed that in the live streams, and I was like, what the fuck? You know? I kind of made an excuse, like, well, maybe he's anxious on camera, and he's, like, snapping at her, like, dealing with anxiety that way, but nah. It clearly wasn't that. So, yeah. I've definitely dealt with a man like this, and it's definitely never going to happen to me again. I can spot them out. I remember that I didn't like, not because of his looks, but his demeanor and his attitude, Emery Smith. When I first saw him on Cosmic Disclosure with David Wilcock, I'm pretty sure that he was the host of that they were all together. Pretty sure. But it was in almost the exact same setting that Corey Goode was with I'm pretty sure. Okay? And I remember it, and I remember thinking to myself, there's no way this guy is in the military. He just doesn't seem like the type. So I went to Stephen Campion's channel, okay? And I was looking for this one video that I remember that this woman posted. It was in her series. Emery Smith was drunk and high out of his mind. He was gone. Like, he... And sometimes what happens, especially if you have mental health issues, you're taking all these drugs, just like we saw with Sarah R. Adams, you can kind of go into a psychosis. Like, spiritual psychosis is a real thing. People sitting out there, I'm channeling Archangel Michael with David Wilcock, which I've talked about him with spiritual psychosis. But there's other people. I'm channeling from Melchizedek and blah, 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 all this crazy shit. Now, in the case of Bashar, with that Daryl, what's his face? He knows what he's doing. And that's a higher aspect of self within Daryl. There is no Bashar alien sit anywhere. It may be something that he has spiritually developed over the years within, but I highly doubt, highly doubt that, and the reason why is because he'd be a lot more clairvoyant and psychic while talking with people. If he had a true direct link to the spiritual realms through anything, and he's not. I've seen it on multiple occasions, and I was like, he should have been able to answer that if he had something truly higher dimensionally with him, extraterrestrial or whatever. So that's a bit different, because he knows what he's doing. But there are some people who don't, and who fall into this psychosis stuff. So Emery Smith was in a tent with, like, not like a pistol, with like a gun, okay? With like a military grade, like, you gotta put the, like he's going to war, you know, in a green tent, ranting and raving about how the government's coming to get him. He sent her videos of this. And I remember, what was it? Oh, I remember this. I remember it being on social media because I was following it all on Facebook and different stuff like that. Twitter, Emery Smith was on Twitter. And it was on Facebook where he had claimed He was hit by a direct energy weapon in the hospital bed with a freaking, okay? Everyone was feeling sorry for him and stuff. Remember I told you Corey Goode made people feel sorry for him because he's fighting the evil aliens, and everyone donated so him and his whole family could go to Disney World. Pretty sure it was Disney World in Florida, not Disneyland in California. Pretty sure it was in Florida. I've been to both of them. I'm not showing off or anything. When I went on my trip to the Backstreet Boys, I got to go to Disney World. When I lived in California, I went to Disneyland all the time. I was there on my 21st birthday, I think, for the last time. Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Drunk Emery Smith. Shit, you guys. Sorry. Disney World. The fucking the direct energy weapon. And he's on this medical bed, acting like, he's all fucked up. He had alcohol poisoning, y'all. Alcohol poisoning. Are you... Yeah, listen, if you just said, are you serious? Yes, I am. And he's telling everybody he got hit with a direct energy weapon. And Santos Bonanchi did that not that long ago. Like this past week, maybe last week. I just seen the video. Acting like, here, look at me, watch me convulse. You ain't convulsing. I literally had to I was on the fucking floor like I was having a seizure, and I don't know what the fuck that was. But listen, I'm not trying to say, it happened to me, but not them. No. Watch me convulse. He wasn't convulsing. He might have had the diabetic shakes. He's an older man, but he wasn't even shaking that much. He was like, when you convulse, you're convulsing, like on the ground, your whole body's tensed up. That happened to me in the hallway once. Talked about it. That's the only time I could think of something that couldn't be explained at all. And I called 911 when that happened. Called 911. They couldn't even stick the, it was like I was being heated from the inside. It wasn't, it was so wet I couldn't even be itchy. But I don't remember being itchy. But let me tell you, I was so soaked, my whole body, from convulsing so much when I fell down that hallway. The spirit realm told me, you better get down on the ground. I was like, why? Do it. And I did. And it was one of the most intense episodes. My jaw hurt so fucking much, and I couldn't move, and I was hanging on. Like, it was like I was frozen there, convulsing, like a fucking seizure. And that's the only thing I could ever compare to it. But here he is sitting there on a chair like, and I'm itchy. Are you fucking kidding me? This has gone way too far, okay? From all of them now. Trying to get attention, looking for money. Oh, poor me, pity me. And yeah, I know, but we all have it rough in this life. We do. We all, look at me. I'm battling my own addiction. Okay? These people are just too much. And like a lot of them they have no business being on TV. And like I was thinking, if they're going to sue Corey Goode, Gaia, they need to be suing David Wilcock, Emery Smith, and everybody that was involved with that plot. Even I think David's wife. Oh, can we add the raw material? David loves that. She said that. Like, they all know what they're playing at. Just like David Icke. Yeah, a lot of them. Alex Collier, Elena Denon. Yeah. Most likely, unfortunately, for me, Claudio Nocelli too. But I remember this stuff. And so, I don't know, maybe we'll just keep going for a moment. I'll show you all the stuff on Truth Seekers with Steven. Go over here. I went over to his channel. Am I on the right side? Yeah, okay, it's still good. So, I went over here and I just searched Emery Smith. Look. There he is in the hospital bed. 5 years ago. It was a while ago, you guys. But I remember that picture there. I told you, he's all huddled up with the fucking oxygen mask on. He's got alcohol poisoning. He drank too damn much. These people, they deal with their pain, and I think what happens to with a lot of them is that they might think, okay, well, if I get this going, I'll have some money, then I'll go to rehab. She even talks about Emery Smith going to rehab multiple times. He only stayed for 2 fucking days. Are you kidding me? You need to stay at least 3 months or longer. Emery, not her. Like, she seems like a lovely girl, you know? She's real pretty. That lady there, we first look at. Oh, right. So look, so there he is in the hospital bed. Okay, there's David Wilcock and Emery Smith. David's just as guilty. And it's only a matter of time. Like, they've had all this time to concoct some type of lie, you know, putting this and that off. There's only a matter of time. David Wilcock is just as guilty. Yeah. If not more so. He's probably the fucking mastermind of it. You know? They're all intelligent people, but they don't use their intelligence in the right way, and they're definitely not fucking smart like me. I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything. But look at this. Look, that's Emery Smith's former fiance. He's a complete fraud. And I mean, like, yeah, I wouldn't call her a scorned lover, but I mean, what happened to her? That's terrible. And that's what that guy did to me. Yeah. He didn't even tell me he had this other woman. Anyway, I made a video about this, okay? But he didn't even tell me he had another woman in his life for all these years. They knew each other since fucking high school. And here I am like, oh, I think you're my twin flame. I've never felt this way. Are you fucking kidding me? He knew I was in love with him. And he just loved all the attention like an energy vampire man. And this is what especially Emery Smith, same kind of behavior that I noticed, you know. It's something else. But these people live and they walk among us. Yeah. This is what, you know, and it's like they were acting like they're not like that and blaming it all on Hollywood and the Cabal. Yeah, okay. Look at Emery Smith's former fiance said there's a part 2 to it. Corey Goode, David Wilcock, and Emery Smith, secret space scammers exposed. Yeah. They're all in on it together. Oh, David Wilcock, Emery Smith's PayPal donation scam exposed. Oh, so he asked, wait. Hit with massive attack. Oh my God. Were they looking for money for that? Probably. It just gets worse. And once there's a part 3. Anyway, you can watch this if you so choose. Okay. There's a lot of it on here. All right. David Wilcock. Oh yeah. He claims to be swatted. He wasn't. And there's actual body cam police footage proof of it. So there's quite a bit here, which you can look over. Randy Kramer's another one. Oh my God. Oh, Jason Shruka. Yeah. That's, I told you, disclosure with Ray. And I talked about that with a subscriber just this week. A really nice woman. Yeah. So, yeah. You know, they were all in this together. This cosmic con. David Wilcock, Emery Smith, and Corey Goode together. And I cannot, I can't be sure because I want to stop this part and then we'll start a new part. But it looked like to me that he's like that Emery Smith is still working. Hold on. Commander Salamander, you motherfucker. Sorry. The Salamanders is in the fire tribe. The elementals, you can't, I promised I wouldn't curse. You guys are so dumb. The search for intelligent life, you need to search in your own head for intelligent life because there ain't none there, Emery Smith. Okay. Commander, hosted, hang on, I need, welcome, his description. Welcome to Cosmic Television Network, hosted by Emery Smith, with moderator, oh, okay, he doesn't call himself that, okay, with moderator Cameron Clapp. You're going to get the clap. Commander Salamander. Oh, you think you're funny. Okay. Here, I'm sorry. I need to hear. Look. I'm sorry. Look, I didn't even share the tab. Look. Salamander, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else is here? I'm trying to see. It maybe not. Maybe he doesn't work for Gaia anymore. I hope not. Ah, Laura Eisenhower. What a surprise. Secrets, what? Secrets the Unknown, Antarctic. He was drunk when he wrote that. Secrets the Unknown, Antarctica Files Disclosed Part 2. Pardon? Oh, JP. Oh, what a surprise. Oh, these two videos. What's that? Sebastian, who is that? Why aren't those videos loading? I don't know. Crystals. Rare specimen. Yeah, okay. You are a rare specimen. Oh, Emery Smith and JP missions. I bet that they're telling some stories in that. I told you guys. I didn't even know who JP was. Elena Denon has had JP on her channel. Michael Solak. I'm having a hard time speaking. Oh my God. See, I didn't actually look because I wanted to get my real life reaction. But let me show you the video. Oh, wait a minute. I actually have that kind of crystal. But it's a quartz. It's a lot stronger. I'll show it to you. It's a Merkaba. Like these ding-dongs get people because they have some like just like that, right? Oh, I've got that crystal. And if I didn't know what I did, then it would kind of create like this link, like we had something in common. Mm-hmm. Oh, Cosmic Messengers, Three-Eye Atlas and the Interstellar Frontier. Who's this now? Looks like John Anderson. That's country singer. Brad Olson. I don't know you. I don't want to. Oh yeah, they got another pretty lady. Alien Artifacts. Who's this? I don't know. But here's the video. Okay, now I cannot I don't want to get copyright striked for like showing his content, okay? Because we know that they're like that now for sure. I guess what I'll do is we'll start another part, okay? But before we go, I want to tell you that years ago, probably in 2018, 2019, unfortunately, I wasn't in the habit of taking pictures of everything like I am now because I was much more trusting. But I remember I went to Twitter and I found Emery Smith there. And I had asked him for help if he could help me identify the craft that I saw in 2017. Because here he was. Remember I said that I was watching Cosmic Distortion. I thought, well, and even though I didn't like his demeanor, I mean, I battled within myself, like, am I just jealous of these people? You know? it was a really hard battle with him. Like, what did I do wrong? Why would they choose them and not me? I was trying not to be an asshole, you know? So I went and I asked him, and he didn't have any comments. Like, it wasn't even a busy thread. And I thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to ask. And you could attach a picture. And so I attached to my drawing. And I just wrote to him and I asked him, do you think that you could identify this in any way? I saw this in 2017. He just fucking blocked me. Oh, I'm sorry about the F word. But he blocked me. Yeah. And I was like, well, why? Like, I mean, he could have at least even said, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I always remember that happened. And I know it's not that big of a deal, but it was just such a bad impression. I wondered, like, why are these people like this to me? What did I do? Remember I said, like, I had to go after Corey Goode was rude to me years ago when I tried to warn him? I didn't know what to call it, but I said, like, it's some type of fallen angel type of thing, these Anunnaki Anshar things. I was like, I don't get a good feeling about it. And I was like, I just want to warn you because they might be tricking you, like playing you for a fool, taking advantage of you. And he was rude then. The same channel that he copyright striked me with all those years ago. And I thought, well, what did I do wrong? And then I went and I searched to see if he was rude to other people, and he was, and it wasn't just me. So I was like, oh, okay, well, he's just rude then. Yeah. But I am not surprised at all. These people are part of an alliance of bullshit. And they all stick together with their little bullshit stories, and they sit down, they practice or talk about what they're going to say. And these people are really good talkers, charismatic people. A lot of psychopaths are. You know what I mean? Don't they say that about them? They're charismatic, charming, super romantic, because it's like they're playing these characters inside their head, and they've got one for each people they have in their life. You never had somebody like that? That's what that freaking guy was like. My God, he could lie his ass off. Give him a fucking Oscar. Yeah, Eve. That's right, you. I don't want to talk too much about that because you'll hear it in the video. I plan to put it out on the 14th, so I'm super kind of nervous about it, but whatever. Thy will be done, I guess. So this is crazy as hell. I did not expect to come across this today, that's for sure. But this one here is wild. And so I am going to show you this, and we're going to talk about this one next, because these costumes, man, these were definitely rented from the Halloween costume store, you know what I mean? I might even try to search them online and see if I can find one similar, because that is definitely not military grade uniform. It is crap. And you can tell even from that far away, these people are not military women. Okay? And I only listened for 2 seconds. You can see the red line there. And that's because I skipped ahead to see them. Okay? But he's got these goofy headphones on. He's always got something weird on his head. Like he thinks he's wearing a space helmet all the time. These people are ill. And they had no business being on Gaia. No business. He needed to be in rehab. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes, take a breather, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about this. Okay? All right, thank you so much. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Last Minute Lacy. Fa la 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 la. What the actual F is this? In the Christmas spirit, I bring to you this gift, this treasure of a video that was brought to me this morning. Well, a couple hours ago. It's 3:13 p.m. now, so it was a couple hours ago, and then I started to refresh my memory about the whole thing. And here we are at the Cosmic Disclosure Network channel that happens to be run by Emery Smith. I had no idea it existed until today, to be honest with you. I might have and then just forgot because I don't care and I don't follow this stuff. But the reason why is because this was the video that came up for me. So today we're going to go over this for educational purposes and all that fair use stuff. Of course, I'm not going to play the video. We are just going to look at stills of it. But still, this is for the reason to educate the public on the goings-on of the unfortunate Cosmic Con nonsense. So, I can't actually read what it's called. Extraterrestrial connections. Diverse beings of the cosmos. Yeah, he definitely looks like a diverse being here. I'm sure all the aliens are sitting up in their spaceships like, yes, this guy's the one. We choose him. This is our Anakin Skywalker. Oh, wait, Luke. Well, he is an Anakin. But, okay. So, right. There's a lot going on here. And in the Christmas spirit, I will try and not be mean. Okay? But this man deserves coal for Christmas. A whole bag of it. Coal. I think that's what he got anyway, clearly. If you know anything about the Klaustrom's oil, he didn't get gifts for Christmas. He got the coal. Okay, right. So I know that I look really goofy with my headphones on because I will admit to you that I was trying. I thought that the sound would be better for a little bit there because people were complaining about the sound of my videos. So I got these goofy ass headphones and I was wearing them. And I look like I worked at NASA. Houston, we have a problem. And so I get that. But you would think that he would think to himself, you know what? I look pretty goofy in this. Because I'm not sure, because those glasses that he's wearing are not seeing and reading glasses. Those are guys, I'm very sure that those are safety glasses. At least they look like it. And, well, I don't know where he got that army jacket, but it's all wrinkly. It looks like he just pulled it out of a pile somewhere. I mean, the background's nice. I'd like that. I could say that. That's a positive thing, right? The background's really pretty, very silver, and I mean, those, I think they're flowers, but it looks like snowflakes. It passes. Very, very Christmassy. Very silver bells. But the camo of the hat does not match the jacket. So they definitely did not go together, okay? And those are safety glasses. I'm not sure what he's trying to be safe about. I don't know. I don't even have a joke about that. But, I think I might pass this along to Stephen Cambion and the guys at Hidden Plain Sight and see what they have to say. Because this gets better. Okay? A lot better. But to me, just the way that this army jacket is made, it doesn't look legitimate. I mean, it probably costed maybe $50, but it doesn't look real. It's convincing, but the material's wrong. Like I said, it's wrinkly, and this looks like something that an average Joe could buy on the street. Or not on the street, but you know what I mean, at a shop. Even at a clothing store, it has no labels on it or whatever, but I can't see at this moment. Let's see if it shows anything at all. Any kind of military tags. Nah. Oh, I don't think so. Is that Velcro? What is that? Right here. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's like an overcoat and like a dress shirt type of deal. I don't know what's going on there. But it doesn't look legitimately real to me. And I wouldn't have believed that back then either. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't believe that Corey Goode was in the military either. For the same reason, his demeanor, his behavior, the way he answered questions, just different things that I noticed about him. And then we have, oh my goodness, these two women here. Chancellor Whitney. Like the Federation headquarters. Straight from the bedroom with all, here, let's see this for a second. I gotta full screen this for a minute. Hope this works. Hold on. Is it working? Yeah. So with all these look like He-Man, and no diss on He-Man. I love He-Man. But these are all collector's toys. So the Omicron, I don't even know what the rest is. Now I gotta, if I want to see below, but okay. First of all, we are going to get a better look at the costumes because, again, this is not military grade high quality uniform. I can tell just by looking at it this way. Okay, so I'm going to go, how do I get out of this? Over here. Okay. I gave it a big old thumbs down, by the way. And if you would like to see, because I made a comment, he's going to block me now. I said, what the actual F is this? Where did these women come from? I pulled it hidden in plain sight. The mental asylum, Perry and Brandon. Those are the most ridiculous outfits from the Halloween costume shop I've ever seen. I was like, it's on, Emery. I had to read that properly. It's on, the divine creator brought this randomly to me today, and I shall smite you in his name. Oh my god. And then he's like, watch Cosmic Disclosure, subscribe on Gaia. So this is what confused me. I don't know if he's just trying to is he working for Gaia or not anymore? And he's like, I want to be with Gaia, blah, blah. I don't know. But you know what I said? I said, heck no. Gaia's going to sue you too. It's coming. Yeah. And I know sometimes, though, it's the only way to stop people. And if they cared about the pocketbook so much, that's where you hit them at. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, honestly, it's fucking embarrassing that they did this. And they're all buddies. They're all connected. So, I know that people love money. And they're really, I know we all love that. We all need that in this world. Unfortunately, the Cabal, or actually the Federal Reserve and the elite families, have made it so that is their greatest control over us, and it divides us greatly. That's why I was saying that we need to unify and truly have faith that it's going to work out for all of us in our best interest. Not just some of us, not just 3/4 of us, because this world needs healing, not a culling. It doesn't solve it. It just comes back, you realize, almost like being recycled. So if it's not, it may not be our problem anymore to a degree, but it will be in the future, or you're going to make somebody else's problem. To only stop it at its source, and the heart is at the core of it. And so, like I was saying, like, it's pretty disheartening and disappointing, that all of this, because of course we all want there to be something more, and there is, but it's not this, what they've made it out to be. This is a tomfoolery, like, disgrace. And what he's wearing just tops the cake. But, alright, so these women now are calling themselves Chancellor Whitney and something or other. Let's just go see. I'm going to try to find a better one where we can see them. But I don't know if they're... Hold on a second. Dr. Victoria Whitney? There we go again. Doctor. Oh, so she's a doctor, is she? I don't want to... Please don't make me an appointment with her. For anything. Topics covered: high-level characteristics and ethos of... See, they use fancy words. Like, what the fuck does ethos mean? Oh, that sounds real fancy. They must know what they're talking about. No. Insights from classified research, contact experiences, and field investigations. Underground and off-world civilizations and their techniques. Oh my god. Interspecies ethics, eh? Oh, okay. Communication and Omicron. Wait. What? Omicron? Like the coronavirus, and it means like one Hold on a second. I just can't remember the translation of it. These people are playing with us. The salamander thing, now this. Okay, listen. Omicron is the 15th letter in the Greek alphabet, and it translates to small o. Like the micro and the macro, the inner and the outer. You guys are fucking around. Oh, well, I'm trying not to curse, but represents a short vowel sound in the O. But look at this right here. Look. The alpha and the omega, it represents the omega. The big O. Okay, so the alpha, the omega, which means the big O, and the alpha is the small o. As within, so without, micro, macro, inner, outer. Can you even see that? I bet you can't because I'm covering it. Ah, shit. What can I do about that? Shoot. Okay, let me see here. Can you see it yet? No, eh? Because I'm still in the way. Oh, I'm almost not in the way. Look, there it is. Look, as within, so without. Inner universe, outer universe. Micro, macro. Omicron. They're literally playing right in your face with this esoteric religion bullshit that Corey Goode was talking about. They're all doing it. This is wrong. It's exactly Kabballah Mystic Judaism. It's with symbolism and allegory, play on words, man. That is it. That is such an obvious play on words. So you're talking about, they're playing games. It is a LARP. It's a live action role play. They're playing games. They're trying to play their inner universe on the outer. And this is why they have these stupid ass costumes on. Okay, so let's just go back. Oh my god. Share this tab instead. Okay, Omicron. Yeah, okay. See how quick that was? I can figure this shit out so fast. I'm not showing off or anything. I'm just like glad. So, okay. Like I was saying, let's make this bigger. See if I can get any closer. Because you need to see the collar of this woman's outfit. I forgot to look up. We'll have to pause it and I'll see if I can find like that particular costume online. But just from looking at it, hang on. Okay, it's already at 720p. Well, just from looking at it, whoops, get out of here. Oh, that's that thing. Like I was saying, it's cheap quality. Even the threading on the shoulders, you can see it on with the lady with the glasses. Okay, her her number one or the science officer or something. This is kind of like Star Trek. And again, look at that. The compass in behind it. There's an upward facing triangle. Again, Captain fucking Salamander, Fire Tribe. Upward facing triangle is Fire Tribe. We went over that with the elements. And then we have the compass and the four directions of north, south, east, and west, and earth, air, fire, and water. They're clearly representing Fire Tribe. I don't know why so many of these people choose. I think it has to do with like showing off. You know how they say about Leo? And Leo's a fire sign, but I'm not your typical Leo. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. Like I like to show off to a degree because I'm grateful to be who I am. I'm happy to be in this vessel that was given to me by the divine creator and all that. You know what I mean? But I find like this here, like I'm saying, like they're playing in your face with symbolism and allegory. I just deciphered it for you. And I mean, Irish Palladians, McPalladians. Oh my god, girl, that's so funny. Or no, it was Sarah said Irish Palladians, LOL in the chat there in the corner. And then Mike goes, McPalladians. Oh my god. They're trolling them a little bit. But that's what this is. It is the Fire Tribe. And it looks really bad. It really does. It's shameful. It is. You know? Before when I was thinking about how I felt like how humanity was, like at one point, if the aliens landed, I would have been like, they were like, are you like them? No, I ain't human. I'm not one of them. You know what I mean? Because it was that bad, I would pretend like I wasn't human. But now this is embarrassing in the same way where, you know, I hope that people don't think that I'm like this because it's embarrassing. I know just by, you know, what I've been showing people on my channel, presenting my true self, telling my truth, being myself, which is what I was told ever since the beginning. I don't think that'll happen, but I know there's some people that, you know, will hear like, oh, you know, and they will explain it wrong or something. Oh, she's like Corey Goode. No, I'm not like Corey Goode or Emery Smith or them. Okay, I'm trying to be real with everybody so that they can reach their highest potential too. You know what I mean? It's a selfish thing to be playing in people's faces like this. This isn't funny. Omicron. And there's a couple times I've caught this, talking about the inner universe, presenting it like it's real on the outside. And I mean, you can't trick people into believing. And a big part of it is about belief. You know, you do. You have to believe it. It's just like they say you have to believe in magic in order to see it. Well, when I saw that craft outside my building up in the sky in 2017, I definitely believed. I didn't assume what it was or who it was, but I knew there was other things out there, other people, other beings, all that at that point, you know? Even as I think I was at the point where I thought aliens really are just people like us, but they may not look like us, but they're people of their own people. You know, I was at that point even. But yeah, it's true. You know, you do have to believe, but I mean, what's happened with me, it's caused me to accelerate even faster than this stuff ever did. So I understand, like, and maybe if you're like an amateur, like in kindergarten, this would be something that would be helpful, like a child's book. Kelly Murray Kerr made a Christmas book for kids explaining the Claustrum's oil with the Santa Claus thing in a very simple kind of way. I didn't see it or anything, but she talked about it the other day, and I knew that she had a Christmas book out for kids, but I didn't look at it. It's on Amazon. Kelly Marie Kerr. She does Carr. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. I apologize, but she has quite a few good books about it, the Claustrum's oil and the sacred secretion. And I think and feel that a lot of these people do know about this stuff. And so, as I said with Corey Goode and David Wilcock before about their shadow self and the ego, taking over and presenting itself like it's the higher self and like they're the best, the chosen one, and this is the right thing to do. And Corey Goode even said, "Oh, this is helping people. Oh, people benefit from this." No, they don't. Corey Goode for nothing, and that's the thing. In the end of it, that's what made him good for nothing, because he made shit up. What he was, just as he was good enough. They wouldn't have to keep on adding on all these lies, making up ridiculous stories, or pulling an Emery Smith here and having something like this. There's been countless people over the years. Romana Dildalo was one in Canada, called herself the Queen of Canada, got like a lot of money, like $300,000, like a couple of RVs. Again, she was with the Q movement. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, as we can see, I don't think I need to spend any more time on this. I don't know why these ladies chose to do this. I don't know if they're paid to do this, if it's something that they're grifting. I remember there was a Captain Donald Marshall or something. He named himself Captain, the Captain, and his wife continued on after him, and they were talking about the Raptors. And it was some type of reptilian, again, the salamander, again, Fire Tribe fucking around. I don't know why. Fuck around Fire Tribe. I don't know why they do that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not like that. But I was born Fire Tribe. It says right so in my astrological chart and all of that. I mean, I don't walk around feeling ashamed of it because it's not everybody, but I think this is even coming from the Fire Tribe that doesn't want to put up with this bullshit anymore. And I do reference it as such in this way, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, okay, Fire Tribe or whatever. But it is the fire elementals, which are the salamanders, which again, Captain fucking Salamander. I didn't read that before, so you got my actual honest to God live reaction. But the salamanders are the lizard-like beings. We read that in the Secret Teachings of All Ages under the elements of their inhabitants, which I sent to Michael Sala, Miles Johnson, Danny Henderson, Elisa Herrera, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I've told multiple other people as well. But Elena Denon is doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And yeah. Okay, so moving on, we're going to look at one last thing, but I'm just going to stop this and save this and just start one last little bit. I'll stitch it all together so you're not going to notice I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm talking to myself this whole point at this time, even though I know that people will be listening to this content. It takes some getting used to. Yes, it does. But did we... there's one last thing before we move on. I remembered something during my little cool down, and like I had a tea and to let Marvin outside, just did a few things, you know what I mean? Smoked a bowl. But I remember back in the day, Emery Smith was selling a poster print of a picture of a painting. Like it was like 3 degrees away of a light being. And it was $69.99 or something like that. Or $79.99. Something crazy. And I forget where I made a comment. It wasn't on Twitter. It was somewhere else on a video interview he was doing or something. I can't remember. And then I noticed that the price went down. And I thought, I wonder if he saw what I said. Because, like, I even explained, like, that's ridiculously expensive for, like, it's not even a print of a painting that he did. I don't know. It was really messed up. And I never forgot that either. I was like, whoa. Like, it's like a, like, imagine, yeah. Imagine going, like, for instance, when I was a Backstreet Boys fan when I was 15. There's no way I would have paid $59.99 or $69.99 for a poster of the Backstreet Boys. I mean, if I was at a concert and you paid that price because you got to meet them and they signed it, maybe. Okay, let's be real. But I just never forgot how ridiculously expensive that was all those years ago. And I remember he had like this little website selling it. There wasn't a lot on it, but that was one of the things on it. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I shouldn't put that there before we end this little section. I only have one little bit. It shouldn't take much longer. But I just want to read this because there's a lot of people's testimonies like this. It's like something like what happened with Jay Widener, but I don't know who this person is, and I didn't even look it up. But I did read their testimony, and I just want you to hear it. Okay? So we'll be right back. Just hang on. Hi again. Welcome back to the third little installment. Of course, you didn't notice, but for me, I did. It's 3:47 p.m. on 12/12/2025, and I just wanted to go over one more time about Captain Commander, what was it? Oh, with moderator Cameron Clapp, Commander Salamander. Okay, so like I said, they're playing right in our faces. I sent these people that I had mentioned, like Dr. Michael Sala, Miles Johnston, Elisa Herrera, and Danny Henderson, just to start about the elementals and their inhabitants within here. And it literally, I'm going to show you, because I'm not messing with you. They are called the Salamanders, as in the fire tribe. Now, there's something that I made a joke about to myself. I called them fuck around fire tribe. I just like to clarify that with all elementals, there's two sides, like Sith and Jedi, right? So they would be fuck around fire tribe. We're fuck around and find out fire tribe on this side. You know what I mean? Like, we oppose deception. So it's not the same. And that's what I mean. Like, I didn't like at all the reptilian racism, like I always talked about. I thought that's so weird because not everything are the same, just like not all human beings are garbage. You know what I mean? But some are. Some are just fucking, oh, there we go again. We should put a swear word counter. But you know, some of them are really unpleasant. So as you see right here in this book, like I told them, it was on page 279, but that it starts at, but this is page 278. It says the Salamanders. It says right there. I'm not messing with you. I know it might be backwards, but I'll leave it steady so you can see it. But it's the Salamanders. And look, I marked right there, reptilians. Okay? The Salamanders were the strongest and most powerful of the elementals, and their ruler was a magnificent flaming spirit, or an energy being, called Jinn. And that's what Jinn are, beings of smokeless fire. They're energy beings. Okay? But Jinn does not mean the devil. It's a being of the unseen realm. Okay? And they can be all kinds of different things. Gnomes, mermaids, which are undines, sylphs, like fairies, gnomes, which are like the greys, goblins and different things like that. Beings of the underground. When they talk of inner earth, they're talking of beings of the underground dimensions. Like this. And he's literally playing in your face. So whenever they're talking about inner earth, they're talking about the lower dimensions. And this stuff. So it comes from The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. Again, I didn't take any oaths. I was initiated by the Divine Creator just by chance. These books fell into my lap one after the other, and it was just destiny, I guess, because we decided differently. I mean, these people and myself decided to take very different paths. And I understand that it's a very dangerous thing because when it comes to money, people get taken out. Not that I'm worried about that, but this does happen, and it's because people will fight for this in their livelihood. Unfortunately, when it's gained unfairly, it's not deserved. So, yeah. Let's just go over here to this little website that I found about this fellow's testimony. J.E. Carey, the author of the Chronicles of QI, Space-Time Warriors. I don't know what this is or who this person is. Okay, hold on. I'm going to close this other website. Or do we need... No, we don't need Emery's website. Okay, so let me see. Okay, good. So here we are. It says, Down the Rabbit Hole, Emery Smith Exposed. Now, again, the videos from his ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance or whatever it is now, I'm kind of confused about it myself, were pretty good. Okay, and it was very, very eye-opening, and it exposed him quite a bit as an individual. And I was like, there is no friggin' way. He's an alien ambassador. He has a criminal record and everything. Okay, hold on. So it says, this goes out to all my fans, friends, and business partners. The past months, and especially the past 2 weeks. Oh, this was out, what was it, 2020? August 27th, 2020. Especially the past 2 weeks have been very troubling for me and for many others in the UFO community who know the famed Gaia TV host Emery Smith privately and professionally and belong to the so-called inner circle. Now again, that's the thing, this inner circle, inner universe, for one. But also I was talking about this alliance of bullshit. These people all know this. They know they're astral traveling. It's like, for some reason, they thought the only way people are going to listen, if it sounds sensationalized, like if I seem like I'm more important, or if I'm like in Elena Denunzi's, I'm a galactic emissary, this and that, I come from the line of Anu, and, she changed her last name to Danan, like the Thuatha de Danan, but it's not spelled the same. Still, even Alex Collier, his real name is Ralph Amigos. That's his real name. Corey Goode is actually James Corey Goode. So, again, names have power. And these people think, well, I suppose they are magicians. Esoteric, again, means inner. Exo is outer. And unfortunately, Michael Sala's EXO-POITICS is highly misinformed, unfortunately. People have been wasting his time for a long fucking time. And I think it's cruel and unfair if he doesn't know, because he may not. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. They may not, They may actually believe these things. Carrie Cassidy, too. Like, she might actually believe this stuff. And this might be their lives of trying to prove disclosure. And I feel like making a fool out of these individuals by, trying to pretend like your inner universe is real life, when, in a sense, it is, kind of, for you. But this is why these people say, you can't meet Thorhan, or you won't be able to meet the Blue Avians or the Anshar, or, whatever. They'll say stuff like this. And there's a reason. Because, again, with Claudio Nocelli, he cannot produce Helen Morris. And there's a reason. Okay? Again, with the inner universe. And it may be their perspective and the way that they experience it, but it's not the same for all, because you need to create your reality and how it's going to be for you. And I think that getting caught up in somebody else's inner universe, maybe it might be exactly what the actual Cabal, which is Kabballah Jewish mysticism with symbolism and allegory. It's not a joke. Inner circle, that's exactly what he means. It's the alliance of bullshit. They think they're these elite group of people, through their gaining of intelligence, through the rising of the Cloudstrom's oil. And they're intelligent, all of them. But like I said, they are using it for the wrong reasons, the wrong things. And taking advantage of others that way is wrong, because they deserve the same things. This is a gift for us all to learn this, And I know that we have to climb that mountain, but there's just so much of it now, I believe and feel that this is exactly why I was activated in a sense, This is the reason why I was created, in order, like a failsafe, that you guys wouldn't stop, so then you would have to be. It's unfortunate, and I don't like it, but this is just the way it's gone. Like, it's not like I plotted this or anything. My channel's been going, I think, for, almost 6 years. So, anyway, let's just move on. Inner circle. I would like to use this opportunity to apologize to all of you for introducing Emery Smith on my website and social media without having done a proper background check on my own. Simply because I've trusted Gaia TV and David Wilcock on Cosmic Disclosure. Hey, I don't blame the guy. I did too. And what was that fella, the Spanish fella? Matthias something or other? That was the Atlantean song guy that I made. Oh my God. Anyway, you've seen it, one of my other videos. I know I did that. But again, what is going on? Do they know that these people are mucking around? Are they part of the Esoteric Religion? Because when Corey Goode stuff came out, it was a huge problem. Was it because he actually told the truth and kind of spilled the beans? I can't figure it out yet. I honestly don't want to make any more enemies than I already have. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to falsely accuse, because I don't even know any of those people. You know what I mean? The only one was Jay Widener. And I think that he's aware of some of that stuff, but I really truly believe he trusted and believed what Corey Goode and David Wilcock were telling him. You could see some real emotion there in that man. So, I mean, they pulled the wool over his eyes, so I don't know. No, with no disrespect. Where was I? David Wilcock on Cosmic Disclosure that these people had been through a thorough vetting process before bringing Emery Smith on the show. I don't want to point fingers, but I think it's important addressing the fact that Gaia TV, David Wilcock, and many others were complicit. If not, David Wilcock helped. He added into the project, guaranteed. I posted the Bob Lazar files, and I made sure to turn up the volume at the part where John Lear, where they're out in the field and they're videotaping UFOs at Area 51. And he looks at Bob Lazar and he goes, "Oh yeah, because you definitely want your name on this, don't you?" And I'm like, I saw that before and I was like, that's fucking weird. But that's what they mean. They're all in on it. John Lear's one of them. Yeah. Oh. And he lost his house and stuff too with all kinds of nonsense. I remember he was on Facebook. And I felt bad for the guy. He's, he seems like an all right fella, but still they're all messing around to take advantage of people, and he lost everything. So, okay. Sorry about that. I don't want to point fingers, addressing the fact, okay. We're complicit in the lies and the representation of Emery Smith. They all knew. But they find people who look the part, who can play the part, who have the knowledge, even the esoteric knowledge and the bullshitting power to get away with this. And so far, it's worked. Knowingly conscious about his criminal background and alcohol problem, See, that's what I was saying. Same with Max Spears. That guy needed rehab. No disrespect on him, his family, anybody who knew him, but he needed that. He needed it. He might be still alive. See, again, no disrespect, but I feel like people were so desperate to know the truth, and I don't blame you. I felt the same way. And it was what led me to get to where I am today because I wanted it so bad. But they needed help, and they still do. Sarah Adams needs help. Corey Goode, David Wilcock. I started crying when Jay Widener, I remember listening, I can't remember what it was now. I'm kind of all, there's like a bunch of stuff playing in my head about, all these different things that these people have done. But I'm sure it was Jay Widener, and he said, where is David Wilcock's family? Oh, I did clean, I vacuumed and everything, but clearly I need to dust and wash these curtains because, I miss my air machine so much. I have allergy problems. Anyway, but yeah, they need to rehab before they need to be put on TV and talk about their, I know that it seemed like, this was like whistleblower, groundbreaking information, like, oh, we got to protect these individuals, the government might take them out. I know, I remember it all, and like I said, I'm not blaming others because I fell for it all myself, but I said, we cannot go into 2026 with this anymore. We cannot, or we're never ever going to get to where we want to be, and that's just not going to work for any of us. And again, the cabal will win and will be reset, just like Corey Goode wants, probably with the culling. Elena Danaan didn't care. She was never online warning anybody about the jabs. She was like, whoop, oh well. Seriously. And again, this is one of the things that I was like, this girl, no, a galactic ambassador that's supposed to be here for humanity. That's the first thing I posted about on my Telegram. The jabs, by the way. Again, this was another, but that was on my Telegram before, you see. I deleted it. There is proof of that. I left a lot of the links up. I had tons of them. It really sucks that those versions are gone. But it was there before, and I had it saved in a file on my computer, thankfully. And I posted it again when I reopened a new Telegram channel, okay? Again, let's read this again. Knowingly conscious. Okay, David Wilcock was knowingly conscious about, remember I said he got hit with a direct energy weapon, but it was alcohol poisoning. Yeah. His alcohol problem that simply led to the development of his substance-induced psychosis. Remember, he was in the tent with a gun, screaming about how the government was coming for him. I will never forget that. I was like, that is wild. It wasn't real. The emotions were wrong. It was all this hyper-induced fear type of thing. And that's what a psychosis, substance-induced psychosis is. Yeah. I remember one time I had a friend in my life. She said her ex-husband, this is one of the reasons why they're divorced, couldn't give up the drugs. And one day she came home. The house was all dark. She couldn't find him. And he's like, she could hear him. Shh, shh, shh. She's like, where are you? Finally, she finds him in the closet. He's butt-ass naked, huddled in the corner like, get in here. The cops are going to find me. It was the most funny thing. I was like, girl, are you serious? Yeah. He was on meth or something. Yeah. Hiding in the closet, naked, no clothes on. That's where she found him. Peeking out as hell. Anyway, that's what it does. And so that's what reminds me of Emery Smith in the tent with the gun. I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. No. I'm not lying. I'm not making shit up. I'm not accusing anybody. It is out there. Yeah, it's out there. I'll find it. Watch me go. The girlfriend, the ex-fiance, it was in her expose. That's where I saw it at. She had so many of these clips, but I can only find this one part that I showed you before. It's been taken down. Probably because he threatened to sue her ass or something. It's a damn shame. I'm glad I saw it when I did. I'm sorry this is taking so damn long. Okay. Followed by his pathological lying. Again, my false twin flame, pathological liar. His best friend told me he was. I should have listened. I felt sorry for the guy, though. I thought, could love him back to, not being a pathological lying asshole. But it didn't work. So don't bother trying to do that, because I've tried it many times. And not just with boyfriends, like with people, clearly. And I don't know. I still have the tiniest bit of hope and faith that it's going to work. But sometimes it does not. And it brings me back to that quote I saw with Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek, and it says, "You can do everything right and still fail, and that's just life," and it's true. Okay? So this goes on to say, I've thought a lot about how to write this statement and discuss with people directly involved with Emery on a private level, proving to me firsthand through extensive footage. Yeah. Audio recordings and other well-documented legal material that I've been fooled and lied to, just like many other business partners and friends before me. I did see various red flags popping up along the way, but as an empath and a spiritual being, again, you don't want to be the asshole. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't believe this person, because you would want somebody to believe you about the experiences that you've had. So you don't want to think these people are lying. Because at first I didn't. Even, I can't remember up until a point, but I didn't want to be that person. I was never jealous of them, I just didn't think, I didn't have the heart because you don't have that heart. So again, you think that people have the same heart as you. Remember that advice that I always said Jenny gave me? I never forgot that, because it's true. I've learned that the hard way a lot of times. And again, it applies here with this person. I can't tell. I don't know who this is, like I said, so I can't even tell if it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter, though. It's a soul, and it was a human being. Where was I? Oh, I'm always trying to put myself into the shoes of the other person and give my best to understand his or her situation from their perspective. Yeah. Creating a 3D view of things. Hence, I don't want to express hate or anger towards Emery. Yeah, I know, like I said, these people need help. It pisses me off and I get mad, but they need help and they need to stop it because they're causing a lot too much chaos. It's like, I know from chaos to order, and maybe that's the point of this whole thing. I don't know if these people were aware of that in the grand scheme of things, but it would have had to come to a culmination point at some point. Like the volcano was going to blow eventually. That's what I saw in my head anyway. But again, I don't want to express hate or anger towards Emery or animate others to flip the switch and just pick sides. But again, I'm not saying to send these people hate and to, go and do, nasty comments or whatever. But we should be calling this out and putting a stop to it and getting these people the help that they need, so that they can correct their own path. Like I said, this is what selling a soul is, whether they realize it or not. You are selling who and what you are, and you will always have to build upon your lies to make things more extravagant. Hence, why Corey Goode is involving his entire family now in his escapades. So all I wish is for you to read the below and be cautious in respect to Emery's ex-partner and her healing process. That lady, that blonde lady that we looked at in earlier in this video. I've decided to not go deeper into details about people involved in the events that took place this year, late March to April 2020 at Emery's and his ex-partner's home, which was further communicated to me by Emery in a completely different light to discredit his ex-partner and her family in order to save his own skin and to cover up the fact that he has a serious alcohol and drug problem and seriously engages with the wrong people. Again, that's exactly what that false twin flame guy did to me, to his family and everybody he knows and pretty much everybody who would listen in town. Yeah, I talk about this. I'm going to talk about this soon, I know. But it just reminds me so much. of it. And it's not, oh, you need to get over it. No, this is a serious thing we need to discuss, because there's a lot of people out there like this. And it causes great harm. Okay, not only do these people need help, but they're causing great harm. You know? It's not right what they do to people. There's so many people that this alliance of bullshit have named, like the Dark Alliance. I remember, if I haven't said it already, one of the reasons why I didn't look at who even Jay Widener was, because when that first went down, David Wilcock and Corey Goode were calling them the Cabal. Oh, they're in Hollywood. They're the Cabal. And so I believed it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't look at it. But when I did, I'm certainly glad I did, and I'm sorry to them for not even bothering to look and believing them. But again, I trusted David Wilcock, and yeah, I talked about that before. I have several of his books and all that. So let's just finish up and to discredit his ex-partner or family in order to save his own skin and cover up the fact, okay, he's got this alcohol and drug problem and seemingly engages with the wrong people. Since this is a public message to all of my fans and Emery's fans, I hope you can understand that I'm not willing to publicly disclose legal evidence at this point in time. What's been said is that there are ongoing investigations regarding Emery's criminal activities, to which I cannot comment because I haven't been involved in any serious financial businesses or issues with him. Same with me. Like, I don't know anything about that. I've heard that before. However, he did throw me under the bus by simply dropping out of our project without informing me ahead of time and having an adult conversation on the matter. Yeah, that's the ghosting thing. They will avoid responsibility and say, oh, he'll probably come back and be like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I was on a secret space program mission. I didn't have my phone. I couldn't call you, blah, blah, blah. They make up this extraordinary story just right on the spot. Maybe even start bawling their eyes out and crying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, the twin flame experience fucking sucked. But it's supposed to burn away all of, the impure things and, look, well, I blossomed into a lovely flower. So it's all good. But it was no fun, that's for sure. And this guy continues to be that way, and he's never made good with me. Like, he's never, and I know that's not important, but it's like almost included in the righting wrongs, triumphing over evil, for justice, love, and truth, and all that. And I don't want him going around hurting people like this, but also I want him to be healed. I know that's messed up because he clearly did not give a shit about me. And I know, I'm sorry I'm rambling on about myself. But again, it reminds me, that's how I know, what this Emery guy is exactly like now. He's not the only one, but yeah. Okay, let me just finish this up. So, okay, let me see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, our project, adult conversation on the matter, and also thinking about what his decision to drop out would mean to my business. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else, only him. And then come back, oh my god, my parents were in a car crash. They needed to be airlifted to hospital. My dog stepped on a bee. Where the hell was I? Right. So there's certainly a pattern to his misbehavior and lack of communication and empathy. Yeah, they don't give a fuck about anybody else but them. I'm truly sorry if all of the above might come to you as a shock. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I feel you, because like so many others, I believed in Emery, like I expressed too, David Wilcock. Mm-hmm. And even called him privately my cosmic brother. My family, especially because we were born on the same day and the same month and shared an intellectual intimacy. They probably got along good and they can talk about their inner circle, right? But I don't think they realized these people were pulling a fast one on them. And that's really awful. But again, fuck around and find out, Fire Tribe. Not all of them are like that, but any of the elements wouldn't like that. Betrayal's fucking dirty and low as hell. Therefore, I hope my statement encourages others to conduct their own research or come forward to unveil the truth about people in our UFO community and help with the vetting process so to avoid the spread of misinformation and fraud. Also, try to be critical when it comes to fantastical stories. Remember? Fantasy stories, what was it? Fancy words, that's glamoring. That's what energy vampires do. They'll tell you whatever you need to hear. Vampires do that too before they get their victim to suck their blood. Oh, I love you. You're so beautiful. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing, but it's with words to get your intellectual and heart energy. Okay, so fraud. Fantastical stories, especially when you are on the search for the truth and spirituality. It's very easy to fall down the rabbit hole. So we're not going to go into this too much, but it says the following material is being shared with the public to demonstrate the lie being fed to me and others by Emery Smith in order to discredit his ex-partner and her family as criminals paid by the Cabal to kill him. Oh. This was his background story to me, which is nothing short of liable and slander. These 2 video snippets. Okay, so yeah, they say some pretty crazy shit. They even, I think they called Stephen Canby in the Cabal. They'll probably say I am. Okay, but again, no. Right, I've said it like 1,000 times now. Kabballah Judaic Mysticism. That's where that comes from. Symbolism and allegory. The whole Bible's that. The whole Bible. Jesus Christ is symbolism and allegory. The story of that, okay, the Christ is real. Jesus Christ is a symbolic story for the claustrum's oil and the sacred secretion. That's what it means to say the Christ is in us all, or Christ reborn within, or whatever. All that, yeah. It's a thing that happens inside, and Jesus comes back to life through you, and that's why the teachings of Christ matter most. And nowhere in there, anywhere, not symbolically, allegorically, metaphorically, metaphysically, not in any way, does it say, thou shall lie and bullshit around for money. In fact, again, I've said this one of the main lessons from the Bible, the only time Jesus got mad is when they turned the temple into a place to make money. Well, the temple is yourself. Your kingdom is your head. And you guys are selling your souls for some cash. There is no Cabal. You are the Cabal. Anybody who comes after someone and tries to get their channel shut down, like I said, I realized I was telling the Cabal, come and get me, and then Corey Goode striked my channel. I'm like, the Cabal has struck, because that's who you guys are. So there is no Cabal, but they'll make it seem like there's this boogeyman in the closet, like with the Captain fucking Salamander. Okay? So I'm finished now. I'm tired of talking about this, but I hope it's been enlightening for you and helpful to others. A lot of people are doing this. Yeah, and we're not going to go into 2026 like that. It is, I believe, a number 10 year with the 1 and 0, the alpha and the omega, the inner and the outer. I don't know. I just know that we'll never reach even what some of these people hope. Like I don't know. Maybe some of these people believe what they're preaching. You know what I mean? They're still messing around with the symbolism and allegory in certain ways with this inner circle or the alliance of bullshit. But I don't think many of them are as advanced as others. Like, there are certain leaders within it. Like, you'll have, like, Elena Denon, she has all these different people. Laura Eisenhower's on her channel, different things. Laura Eisenhower's on Emery Smith's channel, Michael Sala, stuff like this, okay? So it just depends. But there seems to be a hierarchy within that as well. And so some of the ones on the higher end of the hierarchy will have some of the lower ones in the end. You see what I'm saying? And they all work together in this giant alliance of bullshit. Yeah. That's what the alliance really is. So, I mean, they claim cyberbullying. Elena has done this. Corey has done this for sure. Even David Wilcock. And it's all just people questioning or, asking questions, any kind of logical, sensible criticism. Like, oh, hey, what? This comes from here, blah, 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 blah. They don't like that. Anything that exposes what they're doing in any way, they will delete and block off their channels. And it's clear that this has been a money-making agenda. And like I said, it's pretty dangerous, and makes you a pretty big problem when you start dealing with people's bank accounts. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that. I just want to state that is a fact. And I'm sorry, because I know your livelihood is important. But if you, you're just going to have to take the L. And I mean, it's very clear that, some of them need rehab or some type of mental health thing going on, Clearly, if you're up there doing this. Yeah, I remember Jay Widener was like, where's David Wilcock's family? Like, why haven't they said anything or helped him or stopped him with any of this? And I remember I started crying at that point. I'm like, yeah, where the hell are they? Yeah. But it's like they probably benefit off it in some way. They like David's Christmas gifts or, like they benefit off of it. They have to. Or he threatens to sue them or something. I'll never talk to you again. Or they just can't figure it out. Maybe he smooth talks them. Don't know. They're very charismatic. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Like I said, sorry, I just went on a little bit longer. But yeah, it's been something that's been a big part of my life for a long time. And it was a huge shock for me to find out all this stuff. So I just think the longer it goes on and the more time people spend on it in their lives, it, like I said, it holds them back from their greatest potential. They'll be like waiting for that comet, Three-Eye Atlas to bring the aliens or something, and these people just keep scamming and grifting and, oh yes, we're saving the world, send me money and stuff like that. And that's really, it's not even gonna work. But these people are under the impression it will. You see what I'm saying? It's only saving them, paying their lawyer fees and keeping their lights on, and so David Wilcock can live in his little log mansion on a mountain in Colorado. You know what I mean? He has like $3,000 house payment a month or some crazy shit like that. I don't know for sure, but he's living just fine. So, and I mean, he's done that on the backs of others. It's called prospering at the expense of others in the Initiates of the Flame. And the flame, again, is a representation of the sacred secretion or the Claustrum's oil, especially when it raises to the crown. Okay? But it also has to do with the flame of the heart. Do you ever see Jesus pointing? I have a candle, and Jesus is pointing to his heart and has flames around it. That's why I use the heart and flames in my video. That's what it represents too. So the flame should be burning at both the heart and the mind. Yeah. You cannot enter the temple with the heart or mind alone, but the equal development of both. Okay? And I think this might be part of these people's problem, like Emery, Elena, David Wilcock. The only one that I feel that's slightly different is, and I know, again, I realize my feelings and my crush on him is a conflict of interest, but I will say that I feel different, that he's not the same. Not perfect, no one is, but not the same as them. But we can talk about that another time. If you have any questions or comments, of course, leave them below and we can discuss this. But other than that, that's about it, all I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I know it's kind of difficult to enjoy, but I did some singing and tried to make it as pleasant as possible. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It is Friday, again, the 12/12 portal. Which adds to 3 and 3. But again, mind, body, soul, your etheric body, your astral body, your mental body, all these things need to be in alignment for you to truly enter the higher realms and develop a everlasting higher consciousness. It even says you get a new body when you leave this one. A renewed type of thing. And David Wilcock kind of says, oh yeah, after the event, you're going to have a new light body. Yeah, because you'll be dead. And again, the event is the culling and the reset. It's all the same thing. Solar flash, same thing. We made videos on that in the past. So they've been doing this for a very long time. And yeah, like I said, I think and feel, mostly I can feel it, that 2026 is going to be the year that changes and stops. So like I said, it's got to. If we ever want to build the world that we hope to see, we're never going to stop, these people. And unfortunately, again, with them, it's the same thing. Maybe the development of the mind has evolved, but not the heart, clearly, through a lot of these elite families. And they've seen the heart as a weakness, So to them, mucking around like this, who can mess around the most and fool the most people is impressive. So like I said, they must think that this is how they get their ticket out of the reset. And leave us all here waiting for the aliens to save us, I guess. That aren't coming because they're not aliens, they're elementals and interdimensionals and ultra-terrestrials and all of that. Yeah. So, thank you so much, everybody. Again, enjoy your weekend. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye. See you next time.
This thing. There's no conscience. Just hunger. The rider's going to come out. And when he does, he'll destroy whoever's got it coming.
He'll take on a new form. One more powerful than he's ever known.
I'm not afraid of you.
Should be.
What if you have to pee while you're on fire?
Oh, that's awesome.